Hinga, hearing from the wide array of views, especially from Kisumu and in the county of Uasin Gishu, the common denominator, and also as mentioned by Ndindi Nyoro, is the aspect about money. Tell the Kenyan people, and you have previously said so, you're on record for doing so, P.S. Hinga, that this money will not go into the consolidated fund. Is it?
No.
Okay, and if it doesn't go into the consolidated fund, which is procedural, as the PFM Act inscribes in the Constitution, where will this fund go?
It's going to a special fund that is created under the Housing Act, and it is going to be administered as per the regulations, which are going to be published immediately after this statute is formed. You know, it's very, very important to understand that you can never publish regulations before you complete the statute. All the questions that you are asking about who is going to administer the fund and the management of the fund is contained in the regulations. The safety guard for Kenyans, and this is important for them to understand, is that when you read the last part of that section 76 of the finance bill, it says that the fund will not be operationalized until the regulations are in place. The regulations themselves go through a public participation process of its own. Okay? It will be published 2 weeks. We will go to all other parts of the country. We will explain about the regulations. So when you confer with our legal people, we said, why can't we just release these regulations? Because they are the ones that are explaining the many questions that are being asked. Unfortunately, you cannot publish regulations before the statute is done, because regulations can never amend a statute. But I just want to say a couple of things, because there's a lot of things that have been said.
Okay.
And so this is a very healthy debate. And first of all, I just really want to appreciate the fact that we have actually made shelter to be where it should be. Because first of all, this is a human right. Our own constitution actually accords that right. Article 21, let me read this, because I got in and I had some of my friend Kwame make some comments which I like to dispute. There is a section, Article 21 of the Constitution, that deals with implementation of rights and fundamental freedoms. And allow me to read verbatim. 1, it says, it is a fundamental duty of the state and every state organ to observe, respect, protect, promote, and fulfill the rights and fundamental freedoms in the Bill of Rights. But 2, this is important, it says, the state shall take legislative, policy, and other measures, including the setting of standards to achieve the progressive realization of the rights guaranteed under Article 43. And the last part that I like to read on that is 3. It says, all state organs and all public officers have the duty to address the needs of vulnerable groups within the society, including women, older members of society, persons with disability, children, youth, members of minority or marginalized communities. I dare say that today the most marginalized person in Kenya is the urban poor. Why? The urban poor lives in a 10 square feet home with a family. The urban poor pays to use a toilet. The urban poor pays 172% more for water than you and I pay. They pay 147% more for electricity than you and I. It is a constitutional imperative. We have been given jobs to fulfill those responsibilities, as the article has said. So I think there has got to be an element of balance. Now, one of the things that makes this conversation, I think it makes it interesting, but on the same time disingenuous, is because I listened to my good friend, the former member of MP Jude Jomo. Jude Jomo was in Jubilee government, which I was in. We passed the same bill, and I'm sure he voted for it, verbatim. The only difference between this bill and what was passed during the Jubilee government was that was 1.5%, now it is 3%. And that is the biggest challenge, because the people who are supposed to be actually out there educating our people, because this housing issue is a collective responsibility. it is our responsibility. We cannot say that we are not your brother's keeper, because that one person who has to sleep, you know. So I think that is very important. There are a couple of things I would like to respond to Kwame, but I hope you'll get a chance.